Good evening and welcome to this edition of A Walk Down Memory Lane. I'm your host, Earl Baston, and joining me is none other than the one and only Mr. Cup Match, Gennaro Tucker. Gennaro, first of all, gotta give apologies for my co-host, Dennis Brown. He's running a little late. He's at a meeting, and hopefully he'll be able to join us. I know he'll have a wonderful time trying to talk to you. But the only person to score 5 centuries in Cup Match, I honestly believe we won't see that record broken for a time, if at all. The centuries that we've been able to witness from your first one in 1999, right through to 2016, I think you've shown the growth of your maturity in the game itself, and the fact that I know for a while you were thinking, I can't get this at Somerset, but that last one was magical. So we're going to go through each one of them, if as much as you can remember about them. Let's go back to 1999, that first one. You're settled, you're getting close. What do you remember about the first century for Cup Match for you?
I remember everything about that one. Because in 99, I remember I messed up my knee. And it was me, Richard, and Irvin Romain betting. Richard was running for me. Irvin was betting at the other end. And Irvin betted for hours, for about 15 runs.
Yeah.
All Richard was telling him was, just pick up the single, let talk do everything. So Irvin's like, that's not my game. I remember it. And then it was like Richard was just running. Every time I hit the ball, he was running. And he was talking to Irvin, not talking to me, just talking to Irvin. And when I got through to that 100, Irvin was like, hey, boy, you know I don't bet like this. This is not my type of game. Because we guys betted for hours.
I know.
We're just picking up ones and twos, and Irvin was just rotating the strike. And Richard was good on their team every time and say, hey, you're playing poke, get the single. It's like, look, I want to hit the ball. No, you're getting the single. And that's how Richard talked me through to my first 100 in the Cup Match in 99.
Right. And it's funny because I'm pretty sure at that time the St. George's guys would have been talking to Irvin about just hit the ball, because everybody would have heard Richard talking to Irvin, right, and Irvin wanting to go after the ball kind of thing, and all you needed to do was break it up. But Irvin showed a lot of maturity as well in coming out of the normal rule of what he likes to do of blasting the ball around, to kind of stabilize it for a team, because that although you got the century, he played a major part in that by listening to Richard.
Well, both of them did, really, because at that time, that's when I tore my ligaments in my knee.
Right.
So it was like I couldn't run. I was just betting, and he was like, look, no pain, just bet. You gotta get 100. And that's what I remember. Richard talked me through it, he talked Irvin through it, and that's how I got to that milestone for the first time. It was like, I said, this guy is serious. Like, Richard was really serious about everything that was going on that day.
Right. Looking back at it, walking off the field, because you was 103 not out, you managed to get off the field. Just reflecting back, kind of days after that, what were your immediate thoughts about that particular century? Because everybody that scores one wants to get another one.
Correct. I mean, when I first got that one, it was like, you know what? I'm got a lot of years left of this game. I mean, I was young then, you know what I mean? So it was like, well, I've got one. I know I can get more. Because back then, the Berlin was better than what it was as it got, the years going on. The Berlin was real good that year. I mean, we had Flipping Bell, Dale Fox, we had Herbie, we had Greg Fugu. You know what I mean? These guys it was good bowlers, but now when you look at it, it's like the Berlin's so easy. You can just sit there and just take your time. But back then, like I said, it was it was harder for me, and the quality was better, and you had majority guys that played Cup Match was serious about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everybody took it real serious, and that was a good thing for me to play in that era.
Right. Now, your next one came the next time you went to St. George's
in
in 2000.
2001.
Yeah. But do you
Right.
remember what happened in 2000?
Oh, 2000. No, I don't.
Upsize it? Okay.
No, I don't. But I remember 2001 because we guys just
I'm
came
pretty sure there was a lot of people that remember 2000.
2001 because we just came back from the ICC tournament. If you
Right.
remember that.
Yes, I remember
We was
that.
in the ICC tournament in Canada.
Yep.
And that tournament just ended. And we came back for cup match. Like about
Right.
maybe cup match would have been, I think cup match was in like 2 to 3 weeks.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we were playing cricket at a constant, at a good level on a constant basis. So it was like, yeah. When I came back, I was in shape, I was fit, I was running on the beach every day, I was in good shape. So
Right.
I set my mind to basically get another 100, but not to break the record that year.
Right. Right. Now, talking about that, because there was a lot of fanfare around that particular one, because we had we were celebrating 100 years.
Yeah, I think we were.
So it was a lot of it was a lot of stuff going on before the game, kind of, the build up to the game and all of that. You had Lloyd James there, you had Clarence Parker there, you had a lot of the former Somerset players as well. It was just a festive atmosphere, and I think you capped it off with that magical inning. I mean, you started off at a pace, then you slowed down a little bit, you picked it up again, and you slowed down, and then once you got 100, it was almost like 10 minutes, and you were 150.
Hey, I went to 150 in about 15 balls. I think it was. It was like, it was like the mindset was just like, you know what, and at that time, when I was betting, nobody didn't really say nothing to me about no racket. I never even knew about a racket until I got to the 150, and I recall it was Glenn Blakeney and Clay Smith came to me, and there's like, you know the racket? I said, racket, but I'm just betting, but I'm just beating bull, man. You know what I mean? I'm in a, like, that wasn't even on my mind. So when they came to me and says, you know the racket is 173. So I was like, no, you guys are gonna make me slow down, and like now you're putting it in my mind. You know what I mean? I was just in a mood. Like I was seeing the ball good, I was hitting the ball clean.
Yes.
And I was like, I was just gonna continue to go. Like, and then it was like, once I got to 150, it's like, all right, cool. Hey, you're close to the racket, hang around. I'm like, what? You know what I mean? Then once I got across Timmy Edwards, it was like, yo, you're just a couple runs away. So I'm like, all right, cool. I could hang around and try to hang around, but I was getting tired because it was hot.
Oh yeah,
it was hot that day, and I was betting for hours.
Yep.
And then hey, once I got to that milestone, it was like, yo, you just broke the record in cup match. Like, yo, past every legend in cup match history. You know what I mean? And it was like, my daddy came out to me, was like, yo, you know what you just done? I'm like, look, I don't know, man. I'm young. I just want to play cricket. Like, I just want to hit ball sixes. Because I look at it like this, basic. People came to cup match to watch me hit sixes and fours. They don't want to watch me hit the singles. You know what I mean? And that's just my mindset at that time. I want to make everybody happy and just hit boundaries. Like, and once I got to that milestone, it was like, I mean, I was trying to get the 200, but it was like, yo, I'm hot out here. I'm drained. I'm better for like 5 hours.
Let me ask you, because how much of the celebration did it take out of you? Because the game stopped for it's got to be about half an hour.
Yeah, the game stopped
and it was so many people on the field, and you didn't have a chance to kind of breathe because there was so many people around you, and it was so much going on. But how much of that burnt the energy that could have possibly taken you to 200?
Yeah, it took everything out of me. I mean, it takes your mindset, because now your mentality is focusing now where everybody wants to take pictures. Everybody's seeing you broke this record that stood for 30-something years, whatever it was. And it's like, now it's like, you know what? I don't have to do nothing else. I'm just created history by breaking the record. So whatever happens now is a bonus. That's how I felt. But then I said, you know what? The momentum's going where I was. So you might as well just try to keep going. Just keep going. And just see where it takes you. If you reach your 200, then, hey, you reach it. If you don't, hey, come back and try again next year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, and when you did get out on the 186, obviously you're relieved because you're tired. That's one thing, but you're a little disappointed because that 14 runs where you were just shy. So reflecting back on that in the changing room, thinking about just the whole thing, because I'm pretty sure you would have been inundated in the change room as well. But when you had a moment to be by yourself, because a chance to get a shower, to relax the body, all that. What were those thoughts like initially?
Yeah, I mean, you're thinking about to making sure that you get the 200 to really take the record right out of reach. Because when you think about it, 200 is just a mind thing. You get to 200, ain't nobody gonna get to 200. Not that, because nowadays, guys, mental is not that good to get to that milestone. And I was a little upset with myself because I thought I should have composed myself a little bit more and try to get to it. But like I said, at that time, the sun, fatigue, I was tired. And then it was just like, I was just happy to reach that target. And, everybody around the field was still coming to you. And it's an unbelievable thing for me. Like, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. And in that setup that will feel there were. Did you hear me?
Say that again? No, you broke out.
Did you hear me?
No, I didn't hear what you said.
Okay. Yeah, I was saying that it weren't just Somerset people on the field. There were St. George's people on the field as well, congratulating you, for that milestone. Because one thing about Cup Match, it's about history, and a lot of people like to be around history and just know that they were there to see history, being made.
Yeah, it was. It was definitely a lot of people. Like I said, I was taking pictures on the sideline. It like the game was over. Like at that time, it was like, okay, everybody was to take pictures. So it was like that takes away everything, because no, you're in a I was in a groove, so my momentum was going, just going. And then for that half an hour, like you said, it breaks everything. Your mental, everything is just going. So it's like, okay, trying to get back stuck in again, it's going to take a little bit of time. So it messed me up. But at the end of the day, I was just happy to be able to celebrate with everybody on that time.
Sure. What we're going to do is we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to have more with Mr. Cup Match, Gennaro Tucker. We'll be right back.
Putting down the weapons.
You seen this?
We're featuring a range of remarkably effective household cleaning solutions made with ecologically sound ingredients and pleasing fragrances from Ecos, a company with over 50 years' experience producing plant-powered cleaning products. The founder was a veteran chemist in the cleaning products industry and started up Ecos as a response to the harsh chemicals he had routinely encountered. Try Ecos non-abrasive cream cleanser, vinegar window cleaner, and in spray bottles, Orange Plus and Parsley Plus cleaners, shower and floor cleaners, furniture polish, and stain and odor remover. Lindos, why go anyplace else?
I'm also thankful and grateful because my greatest value of my life is my legacy.
But why I do it? I feel supposed to do it. I was put here to be here, to do what I'm doing right now. Once I see somebody moving, it's the greatest joy for me. There's a little person being born.
I am thankful that people have given me the trust, for me to empower them, from my players to my family to friends. And that's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that people have allowed me and trusted me to be in their life.
Welcome back. It's Gennaro Tucker. Gennaro, it took another 8 years for that third century. In between there, you were always knocking on the door. We watched Clay get his, just what he was able to get his third one up at Somerset. Being a part of that, did you start reflecting on what it would be like if and when you got your third?
I knew it was gonna come because I had a lot of knocks of a couple 90s, a couple 80s, 70s, and it was like, you know what, it's gonna come again. And I really wasn't worried about when Clay got his third because I knew I would get another one eventually, and it was coming sooner rather than later. So I knew it was coming. So, but I just had to really put myself into that mood to bet real good. You know what I mean? But then what's happened, what made it happen even more was that a lot of times that I came to bet, we were in trouble.
Right.
So I think that third one, we were in trouble. I think the third and the fourth, we were in trouble.
The third.
Where I betted a long time. Because I think the fourth one, I think it was me and Trey Manders. We got 100 deep.
Yes.
So I knew it was definitely going to come. But like I said, but Dean Sumner was in trouble so much of the time when I came into bet, it put a little bit more emphasis for me to bet long. So that made it easier. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That 2009 yet again at Wellington Oval. You like that Wellington Oval surface. You're batting 126 not out. Again, like you said, Somerset was in trouble. They needed somebody but just building partnerships, because I think that was one of the big things that during this period, especially when you got those first 3 centuries, Somerset struggled at a lot of building those partnerships. Right. You had a lot of talent, but guys were throwing their wickets away, a little too easy. So that 126 not out was invaluable to Somerset. But it was your third one. Now getting that one across the line, you remember any parts of that?
I remember if I recall, didn't the wicket get chopped up that year, or that was the year?
Yeah, I believe it didn't get chopped up. It got oil spilled on it.
Right, and they moved it.
Yes.
Over.
Yes.
Right, they moved it over, and I remember. I think I went on there, and matter of fact, Sheridan Rayner was the with the bronze.
Yeah.
And they sprayed it green, I think it was.
Yes.
They sprayed it green.
Yeah, because it had that black burnt part right in the oil burnt the right in the center of the wicket. Yeah.
So what I done was I went on there on my lunch break one day, and I was talking to him. So he was like, "Look, there's a nice batting wicket, this is ready for you." So I'm like, "Serious?" He's like, "No, just win the toss. You guys got to bet." But a lot of times, some went to win the toss and field.
Right.
And he was like, "Look, the wicket is real nice. The wicket is nice." It's all this telling me. And just talking to Sheridan from Rangers, Sheridan would bet on water.
Right.
He bets on water. He told me every time he wins, he thought he bets, regardless. So it was like, with him helping me out, it was like, I said, all right, cool. And I looked at the wicket. I said, you know what? This wicket looks nice, hard, and it doesn't look like it's going to get any sideways movement.
Right.
And once I got there, you face a couple balls, and if it ain't nothing moving, they're like, whoa, this is a good wicket. And I think Stephen Kelly was running in that year.
Yep. Yeah.
He was burning. I'm like, normally when Kelly pitch, he swings the ball.
Right.
And he was building up, and with him, he had that English mentality.
Yes.
Pitch that ball up in the block and look for swing.
Yeah.
Every time he pitched that ball up in the block, I said, well, you ain't the slut. You gotta go, bro. You know what I mean? But it was a good wicket to bat on. Real good wicket to bat on.
Yeah. I still picture him. Hands on the hips, standing there trying to figure out what I'm gonna do.
So that 126 that year was. I like I said, that there put me into number 3, and I said, yeah, you know what? And I think at that time, I think Clay had stopped finished maybe 1 or 2 years after that, or he may
Yeah, I
I think
think
he
so.
may
Yeah,
have finished.
yeah,
So once he had finished with 3 centers, and I said, I'm still got a lot of years left. I'm gonna
right.
go towards this, and that was my mindset every time I played. It was like, if I can get off the mark and I get 10 runs without being in trouble, then I know I'm pretty good.
Right,
You
right.
know?
Now, after that third one, there was a lot of talk about, the fact that you hadn't scored a century at Somerset. How much of that affected your mindset, especially when you went to bed? Did you hear me?
Um, in sums, I think it was just a mind thing, really. I think I put too much pressure on myself going into cup matches, sums it, because at that point, everybody was saying the same thing. Oh, you scored all your centuries in Somerset. I mean, St. George's, you can't score in Somerset. But I did have some good scores in Somerset,
Mhm.
80s, 70s, but I just couldn't get to that milestone. So in 2016, which I decided would be my last cup match, I said I'm gonna go out with a bang. I'm gonna go out with 100. That's all I said to myself. And once I got there, I mean, if you notice that innings there, I hit no sixes in that innings
No.
until I was on like 100 and something.
Mm.
And that innings was just keeping everything straight. My mindset was good. I said, you know what? I'm not taking no risk. But the risk that I did take, I got dropped on what, 90,
Yeah.
96?
90, was it
Something
96?
like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
in the covers.
Yes.
And and that I was upset with myself. I'm like, yo, bro, you're better the whole game. You're not gave a chance, you're not hit nothing in the earth, but then you can give away something like this, sir. But it just happened that your boy dropped it, and I said, you know what? Now I'm gonna take my time and get due to this 100 up sums it so I can retire on a good note.
But let's actually go back to your fourth one, because that one there, 2013, was another big milestone. Was a
Mhm.
major milestone as you became the all-time leading run scorer. You were the first person to score 4 centuries in cup match. Just another big fanfare. I mean, to have Charlie there, to have your parents there. Everybody's around. Let's talk through that, because you did mention you and Trey both getting centuries, because at one point in time, Summers was in a little bit of
Yeah,
trouble.
really trouble.
So you two having to settle in and decide, you know what, let's try to bat our way out of trouble. So that first 50 runs weren't looking for 50. It was more than looking to save and give some sort of creditable score.
Correct. I mean, when I did come in, Trey was betting,
Mm,
and Trey was betting well. So for me to come in, my main goal was to just stay there with him, and I told him, I says, look, we're not gonna take no risks. All we're gonna do is just keep the strike rotating, because we're in trouble. And if me or you gets out at any time in the next 10 overs, then we might be looking at a uphill battle. So it was like, you know what? Look, just a sitter bet. And I talked to him to his 100,
mm.
where I helped him out. Because I don't even think Trey had played. What, that might have been his second
Yeah,
or
yeah.
third.
There were many. He hadn't played many.
Yeah, he hadn't played many. So he was still kind of nervous. And for me to bet there with him, I helped him out a lot to get him through that innings to get to that 100. And he betted real well. And
Mm,
we brought Somerset out of trouble. We both got hundreds. And yeah, and we made sure we weren't gonna lose that game.
right. As you get closer, because now the chatter, obviously, of the score you need to become the first to become the leading run scorer. As that gets closer, you can hear the talks around the grants and so forth. How much did that affect you?
Um, I don't think it really affected me because I had talked to Charlie the day before, and he was there like, come on, you gotta sit up, you gotta bet tomorrow, you gotta do this, you gotta get the runs. So at that point, I really wasn't worrying about it. All I was doing, like I said, because we was in trouble, it was just about betting for Somerset, not betting for myself. you know. So once it started getting closer and closer, but then you're looking down at the western end. Charlie's at the walkway coming on the field.
Yes.
So it's like, hey, bro, you're close to taking this, you know, becoming the leading run scorer in cup match. And I remember the shot, the cover drive that went to the extra cover boundary before, and the field just went up. Like, you know, Charlie came on the field, you know, he was all happy. It was just something good that happened. Like, you know, so.
And again, you hadn't got to the 100 yet, had you?
No, I think it
No.
was. I think it was
80
a couple
something.
runs short.
Yeah, you was 80 or 88 or something like that there.
Yeah,
So,
a couple
I
runs
mean,
short.
and that celebration took a while to clear because you became the leading run scorer. And then some 12 runs later, here comes another wave of people because here comes your 4th century. So reflecting on all of that, I mean, okay, so back in, what was it, back in 2001, where you became the highest run scorer, individual run scorer, and then 12 years later, you become the actual highest aggregate run scorer in cup match. That space, talk us through that, because when it sinks in, you got to realize, hey, I've actually done this.
Right. I mean, but like I said, with me, I never really played cup match to set records. I was just playing because I love to play cricket, and I always wanted to do good. And every cup match, my daddy will come there, tell me, look, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you know, talk me through, you know, the innings. Like, he'll see the innings prior to me even betting, like, look, you gotta keep it straight, you gotta do that. And so for me, it was like every innings, I took that into account. Like, my first 20 runs, I have to play straight. I have to play straight. But then it's like, sometimes you need to play the ball when it's married. If a guy builds you a long hop, you got to hit him over miles. You understand? So it was like, you can't be too cautious, but you got to play your normal game. And for me, once I was in, then I was really in, because the Berlin wasn't bothering me, you know? So it was like, just continue, just bet, just enjoy yourself. You know, smile and just enjoy it. Just have fun. Like, talk to the players, and that's what I always talk to the players on the field, joke with them, and I mean that just got me over. That got me over, because a lot of guys, they would try to talk you off your game, all this smack, you know. But it never bothered me. I just, okay, cool. I just let my batting do the talking. That's all I do.
Sure. Well, we're going to take another commercial break, and when we come back, before we talk about that milestone one at Somerset in 2016, we want to talk about just your time as the captain of Somerset and how much that kind of affected or did or did not affect your approach to the game. So we'll be right back.
I'm also thankful and grateful because my greatest value of my life is my legacy.
But why I do it? I feel supposed to do it. I was put here to be here, to do what I'm doing right now. Once I see somebody moving, it's the greatest joy for me. There's a little person being born.
I am thankful that people have given me the trust, you know, for me to empower them, from my players to my family to friends. And that's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that people have allowed me and trusted me to be in their life.
Putting down the weapons.
You seeing this?
Back in 1995, a pair of entrepreneurs working in their garage with essential oils began to realize the potential of organically produced body care products. Now, in a 56,000 square foot facility, EO products are shipping to millions worldwide, an inspiration to aspiring family businesses to be sure. EO products were the first in their field to follow the quality and safety guidelines established for organic foods in their production of high-end organic body care products. This month we're featuring EO Lemon Coconut Lotion. Lindo's. Why go anyplace else?
And welcome back. You had your time as the captain of Somerset, and you mentioned something just a little while ago about how your dad talked you through, especially when you had the bat and so forth. But how much talking did he do when you were captain on strategy-wise, or just what to anticipate?
Yeah, he always used to tell me about, certain field settings and how you got to change it, to really get better at it. You know what I mean? It was like, he always gave me advice, but some of the advice I didn't use, some of the advice I did use, because sometimes you have to take it and use it as the game is actually happening, because some of the advice he has given me wasn't implemented for me into the game time. You know what I mean? So it was like, oh, you got to set this field, you got to set that field. But sometimes the builders that you have, they're not going to build to that field. So you got to go to the builder and talk to the builder about the actual field setting, how he's building, what is building. You know what I mean? So that deal was a big thing for me too when I was captain. But also when I was captain, I don't think we had a very strong team. I thought when I became captain, we had a lot of youngsters coming in. That's when Malachi just started playing cup match. You know what I mean? So it was like a lot of the older guys had faded out a little bit, and we were rebuilding. And that was the first year, 2005, we drew. I think it was. We drew up Somerset, or 2006 we drew. We lost in St. George's, and then we lost in Somerset.
Right.
So it was like me as captain, I went on as 2 losses and a draw. Which I wasn't happy with, but at the same time, Somerset was in a rebuilding stage, so I had to accept the rebuilding stage and move on and try to make things better from there.
The thing is, a lot of people saw you as a leader, even when you did give up the captaincy, you were still considered the leader of the team, kind of thing. Not having the title as captain, did that kind of alleviate some of that pressure that I'll say this, most spectators who just come cup match put on the quote unquote captain? Yeah,
they do. But one thing I can say is that with the years of experience that I had, I played was Kirby, it was Hassan, and then it was Jordan. So they all had respect to come and ask me my opinion about, how should we do this? How should we do that? And even in the meetings prior to cup match with the coaching staff, I used to give my advice and feedback on how we should go about this. Now, playing against certain players, I know their weaknesses. So I used to say, look, let's go try this because this person doesn't like that. And I thought that, majority of the time, the captains were listening to me and taking my advice, and it helped out a lot. You know what I mean? Sure. And me being a senior player.
Sure. Now let's talk about that magical 2016 performance, because that was, as you have already stated, you decided that was going to be your final cup match, and you wanted to go out with a bang, and everything aligned just right for that. I remember that textbook inning. And when I say textbook, because a lot of your strokes were up the V. You played almost every stroke in you never looked like you was going to cross the line. You just look, let me just play this ball back up. It's merit, take a single here, take a double here, sort of thing. Just that mental focus. Take us through what that is like, because you've got to keep reminding yourself, no chances, no chances, no chances. And that's as the builder's running in, that's even during a break and so forth. So take us through what that mental looks like for you.
Well, for me, like I said, once prior to cup match, when I had my mind made up that this was going to be the last, and I wanted to go out with a bang, 100. So I had to prepare myself mentally, physically, in every aspect prior to cup match. Whereas you go training, you put in the work on your weaknesses, how you've been getting out all year, hitting the ball in the air here or playing coursey line. So my mindset was to, in the first 20 overs, the first 20 runs, it was try to keep it straight. No cutting, no pulling, just keep it straight. And then once you're betting for so long, and then is no sideways movement, nobody's moving the ball. So now they have to have a strategy. So that strategy now they're building it to my hands. Whereas now you have to build to me, because if you're building wide, I laugh at the land. Anything short, I either played it back or I just docked. So at that point, it was like, you know what? You have to make sure you stay mentally tough and hit everything straight. Nothing crossy line. And once I reach the 50, and I'm saying to myself, you haven't hit no sixes, all you've been doing is hitting fours, ones, twos, you had no edges. And I said, you know what? This is the day that you can go out with a bang and you can leave your legacy as Mr. Cup match in the classic. And that's what I set my mind to do, and that's what I did.
Now we talked about it, but I just want to emphasize a little more the drop catch. Hard in your mouth.
I said, man, you came this far to get dropped to a 94, whatever, 95. Like, you done all the hard work to now give away an easy catch like this. So you had to refocus again.
Well, let me just say, I don't know if I was more upset or happy at the drop catch. Personally, because you and I have been friends for a long time. I wanted to see you out, but I wanted to see you reach that milestone as well. So when the ball was put down, I was upset at the beginning, but then I said, you know what? It was meant to be. And then, you getting the century, for me personally, it was elation because you worked hard for it. You know what I mean? And I think you deserved it. You gave everything you had for that occasion. But getting over that line, that one, I think you pulled it back with a square.
Back with a square.
Right?
Yeah, with a square.
Back with a square. And it was, God, a sea of red and blue, a sea of light blue and dark blue. It was
it was special, like I said, because the first one in Somerset and my last cup match and my fifth. So it was like I finally did it. Like it took all the stress off my shoulders when I got that 100. It was like, no, you can walk away and be happy with no problems. I can just walk away from the game.
Yeah, walking off the field, because once you finally did get out and walking off the field, knowing that would have been the last time you was walking off cup match, the biggest event in Bermuda every year, no matter what they bring to Bermuda, the biggest event in Bermuda is always going to be cup match. You're walking off the field for the final possible that or you've set every record that could possibly be set in the batting realm. What was that from the wicket to the pavilion like for you?
Well, first of all, I was upset that I got out. Because I still wanted to continue to bet. But once I walked off the field and I took a slow walk towards the the pavilion area, and to see all the players come out now and give a guard of honor was like, it's really over. This is the last one. Because once you do that, that's it. There's no coming back.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it was like, for me, I just said, you know what? I'm reached that age now where I don't want to be doing this every cup match 2 days. It takes a lot out of you. And I mean, I can still play. I can still play cup match if I wanted to, but I just thought it was my time, and for me to walk off on my own terms, not on somebody else's terms. You know, where they're gonna say, "No, you know, we're dropping you. You're not dropping me." I think that for me to walk away from the game with 100, with a legacy intact, rather than no, they told me, "Oh, we're dropping you." Like, I'm gonna get off the stage myself. I'm gonna walk off the stage, and that's what I wanted to do, and I done it the way I wanted to do it.
Yeah, because we've seen so many people exit stage left without, without warning, kind of thing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and you having the opportunity to do it on your own terms, I think that's probably the best way to do it. We're going to take one more commercial break, and I just want to keep you for another couple of minutes because I want to ask you about, give me a memorable something in cup match that you would never ever ever forget, other than the centuries that stays in your mind, or you be driving one day and you think about it and it just brings a good chuckle to you. We'll be right back.
Every month is snack month for us, it would seem, as long as they're the helpful, guilt-free, delectable snacks we crave. Enter the Daily Crave, a company whose first product was churros, the well-loved Spanish treat, followed by diversification in the form of classic puff snacks and chips. They ventured beyond the traditional list of ingredients. The grains are gone, replaced by lentils, pulses, and cassava, slaking our craving with a vegan-friendly, gluten-free snack that satisfies. This month, we're featuring the Daily Crave Quinoa Bourbon Barbecue Chips. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
I'm also thankful and grateful because my greatest value of my life is my legacy.
But why I do it? I feel supposed to do it. I was put here to be here, to do what I'm doing right now. Once I see somebody moving, it's the greatest joy for me. There's a little person being born.
I am thankful that people have given me the trust, for me to empower them, from my players to my family to friends, and that's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that people have allowed me and trusted me to be in their life.
Putting down the weapons.
You seen this?
And welcome back. Well, Nero, what would you say is a standout for you in cup match? Something that only feel that made you chuckle, that you remember all the time.
I have a few things that I can talk about. I mean, one thing was, I remember when I got a duck in cup match. The year up Summers, I think it was 2014. I got one ball.
Yes.
Umpire gave me on the LBW. And I went to him. I said, "Hey, they don't come here to watch you, They come here to watch me." So everyone was like, "Yeah, man, I'm sorry. I think I made a mistake." I said, "But hey, they don't come watch you. They come watch me to play cup match and score runs. They don't come watch you to give me for one ball, a duck." So like every time I see him, I say he said, "Hey, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry." But don't worry about it, man. Everybody make mistakes. It was like every time it's like, "Yeah, man." I say, "Yeah, they don't come watch you to give umpire decisions." LBW, me, they don't come watch that. They want to watch me bet.
Not one
make
ball.
100. One ball, up Summers, LBW, first ball. Jesus, bro. Every time I see him, it's like me and him always have a little joke. Like even when he does our games, Carrington. I say, yeah, they don't come up here and watch you to umpire give me out. They come watch me to bet. So we always have that little joke about it now.
But the good thing is, I mean, I wanna. I'm pretty sure to echo the sentiments of many others in saying thank you very much for entertaining us over the years of Cup Match. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Although opposite teams, you get a chance to enjoy somebody doing their craft, and I think that's what I think a lot of people would appreciate about you in Cup Match and the way you played the game. So again, congratulations, Mr. Cup Match, Gennaro Tucker.
But you also got to remember, Biz, that people pay a lot of money to come Cup Match, and they need to be entertained by the best players. So for them to pay the prices that they pay for Cup Match, they had to get entertained. So that was my job, to entertain them for the prices that they play. You know what I mean?
Once in Jordan's presence saying, glad to see you go.
I might make a late comeback,
Yeah, I was just gonna say, there's always that chance to come back. You want to entertain, but I know you're enjoying yourself on the sidelines.
Yeah, I might. I'm enjoying it. Let somebody else become Mr. Cup Match, man. All records are made to be broken, so let somebody else have a chance,
Well, let's hope, because you said it early that the mentality of some of these guys nowadays, let's hope it changes quite a bit, because you need concentration, you need to put in the aptitude, you need to put in all the work it takes, because things just don't come easy like that. I mean, you might get a good knock where you might get a little 60 or 70, but it's nothing like going across the line, getting a century.
Yep. And I tell a lot of guys, the way you train is the way you play. If you don't train hard, then you're not going to play hard. You got to put in the work, man. If you train hard, you'll get the reward at the end of the day. But if you just think that it's going to happen, it's not going to work. You got to train hard, and then that's how you benefit and become a legend, when you train hard. And I've been playing on a lot of coaches, and that's what I learned from all the coaches that trained me. You got to train hard, and I was probably one of the laziest guys out there when it came to training. You know what I mean? Running all, I didn't want to do all that, but at the end of the day, it proved that I worked hard, I trained hard, and I got the results and the rewards that I deserve.
Sure. Well, no true words have ever been spoken.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right, mate.
Enjoy your night, okay?
You too. Have a good one.
All righty. Okay.
Go.